everyone, it's Teddy, aka JamesKisau on MTGO, coming back for another main series Grixis Control Friday video. Still pre-haircut. I had a show over the weekend that I needed my hair for. And before we get into the list today, I just wanted to get a couple channel updates out of the way. Been getting some feedback about a joke I made right when the new intro came out about a billboard being defaced in LA. I didn't actually commission a billboard. That was just a joke. I'm sorry if the dryness oversold the veracity of the situation. There's no JamesKisau billboards. That is not in the budget. There's no gross misallocation of Patreon funds going on. It's all going back into the channel. Don't worry. That was if you look at the image a little closer, I think you can see it's a pretty clear hack job on Photoshop, or GIMP is the program I use. Very cool photo software that is free and open source. Also, if I did commission a billboard, it wouldn't look like that. I think I would try and do a little better than that. But no, that's not what the channel is about, nor do I think a billboard would really help our cause any over here. Second, some people have been a little disappointed about the lack of new cards showing up in the Friday videos, and that's totally valid. I completely understand, and I'm sorry if the titles of any videos have felt misleading. The titles are just kind of a way of me showing week to week what's different about the list, because Friday will always be about the most competitive version of Grixis Control, and then I run that through a league and see how it does. Competitive to me anyways. There's a lot of people on the Discord working on iterations, and they're all fantastic as well. But on my own personal journey, that will be documented every Friday on the channel, unless it's a release week, and then, you know, we throw all of that out the window and play as many new cards as we possibly can. And even sometimes in those videos, the new cards don't show up because I don't get to choose what cards I draw, so oftentimes I won't get to really showcase new technology in the span of 5 matches. Or if the card does show up and I pitch it to Force a Will, or I shuffle it away off Brainstorm, that should give you a pretty good idea of its usefulness in the given scenario, or maybe its overall viability in the format as a whole. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's get on to what's going on this week. I'm sticking with the Lockmare. This slot is usually Murktide Regent. I think I want to work with Lockmare a little bit longer, just since Murktide has been feeling kind of walled out by stuff like Humidity and Hatchery tokens, and, well, there's a lot of stuff walling Murktide out. Not to mention, Snuff Out is big. Molten Collapse even has been showing up in a lot of the Moonshadow decks. I kind of like the idea of moving away from the big creature being without the ability to replace itself card-wise, which is why I like Lockmare so much. It's also done some really cool stuff against Merit Lage in my testing games. I have been working on Grixis Control a lot more this season. I think I'm already at 3 trophies, which feels great, because last season was pretty slow for us. And also, I just didn't really feel like I had time to play. Didn't feel like I was doing the deck justice every Friday, so I'm really happy to be more back in the swing of things, feeling like I am really competing. And to that end, I do feel more confident about Lockmare than Murktide Regent in this slot. Other than that, the list is stock until you get to the sideboard. I am swapping out the sideboard Thoughtseize and Fire Magic for 2 copies of Fire Covenant. This is a sweeper, or a sweeper, that has been long requested. My chief conspirator, Adam, who works on Grixis Control with me on the channel, ran Fire Covenant at Eternal Weekend, and he had an incredible run. He just barely missed day 2, losing to Nadu midrange, Delighted Halfling, yeah, that deck. I was sitting right next to him, actually. We had both of our win and in matches were at adjacent tables, and yeah, it was hard to watch. But Fire Covenant seemed to do okay for him. He didn't really have that much good to say about it after the event, but let's read the card. It's an old card from Ice Age, I believe. 1 black and a red for an instant. You pay X life as an additional cost, just like Toxic Deluge, but instead of every creature getting -X, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. Does not hit Planeswalkers. The templating is very clear for this old card. Planeswalkers did not exist back then. Also, it would be kind of broken if you could deal damage to players with this card, because that would mean if your life total was higher than your opponent's, you could make a pretty big gambit. It's kind of like hatred in that way, or it's unlike hatred in that way. um, but yeah, sweepers where you can be more selective are very good because, like I said last week, sweepers are pretty situational tools for Grixis Control. We want to build out a board presence with cards like Orcish Bowmasters, Baleful Strix, incremental damage with Snapcaster Mage, stuff like that. So we don't often want to play sweepers and just undo a lot of our hard work and mana spent. A card like Fire Covenant could be the perfect solution. It's incredibly targeted, and it could be a sweeper for sometimes the same amount of life as Toxic Deluge. Well, that's not exactly true, but it definitely has potential to not wipe your own board while wiping your opponent's board. There are things about it that aren't super desirable, like sweepers. You traditionally think of them as being able to answer cards with hexproof or stuff like Sylvan Safekeeper. That's not really the case with Fire Covenant, although they might end up losing a lot of lands if Sylvan Safekeeper has to protect their whole squad from Fire Covenant. So there's like a lot of push and pull here. There's a lot of things to compare and contrast, and we'll see how it goes this week. Hopefully we run into some stuff that requires me to board in some sweepers, because I do really want to see what Fire Covenant is like compared to Fire Magic, Toxic Deluge, stuff like that. And that's really the thing. Like, I've taken a lot of losses against the Ocelot Pride energy decks, whatever they're popularly called, and there's absolutely ways you can build the deck to combat strategies like that, but it wasn't really something that I thought was super viable in Legacy for a long time. Running sweepers, that is. So it has taken a while to adjust to running stuff like Toxic Deluge, Fire Covenant. I hope I can grow out of my old ways and adapt to the new Legacy meta, and we'll see how it goes this week. If you would like to support the channel, please check out the Patreon. It's linked down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe goes a huge way. Closing in on 2.5 subs. And yeah, on Wednesdays, I do donation lists. If you'd like to send in a donation list, check out the Patreon, or just contact me. If you don't want to subscribe to Patreon, but you still want to do like a one-time donation list, I can do that as well. And yeah, the channel is really just all about championing Legacy as a deck specialist format, or something like that. Someplace where you don't have to feel obligated to play the top of the meta. I think there's a lot of room for creative expression in Legacy. I hope I've proven that to be somewhat true the past couple of years I've been doing this channel, playing Grixis Control. All right, let's jump in there. Well, let's give this a shot. Pretty interesting hand here. I think it's fine. Oh, shout out LeChowder. I really appreciate the support, I gotta say. Really makes things sustainable. So let me tell you, back in the day, before I joined the Bosch and Roll Patreon, before I got on that subreddit, or Discord, excuse me, getting ahead of myself, and I was just like kind of on, it was really just Reddit that I had to try and bounce Grixis Control ideas off of people. And on the Legacy Reddit, people were just like, Grixis Control is bad, and you are bad. So I wasn't getting much there, but nowadays I feel like I'm facing a lot less resistance for my ideas, and it's really nice. Okay, I think I do want the third land more than the second edict, but I'll hide the Thoughtseize. Opponent took a mulligan. I doubt there will be a perfect world in which I can play Strix next turn, but we'll see. Bloodstained Mire, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Opal. Seems like they're going to try and take advantage of this storm count, I would say. Veil Summer, it resolves. I don't have anything. If their last card was Dark Ritual, or I mean their last card's obviously Echo, but if their second to last card was Dark Ritual, I'd be like, holy shit. That was Gamble, okay. They discarded Brainstorm. Alright. Hope for a big whiff, and for us to also look at some good stuff here. Force, our hand sucks. Force no blue card. Even if Veil was not cast, it would still be pretty bad. So now I'm hoping to top deck Brainstorm. Well, first I'm hoping to actually get a turn. I'm hoping that they wield into something unusable. And then, yeah, I'm hoping to top deck Brainstorm or something. Chromox. I got a Hexing Squelcher, Dark Ritual. This seems pretty clear cut to me, unless they didn't hit. If they have to gamble for Beseech the Mirror, that could be a little chill. They have Burning Wish, it doesn't matter. Alright. Maybe they were just counting. Alright, Consign, Surgical. That was a turn 1. Storm does not do that very often. Opposition Agent. And to be fair, they did have to hit on the wheel. I'll take a couple Red Blasts. And then I think definitely lose the Reanimate and the Edicts. I like keeping some number of Lightning Bolts now because of Hexing Squelcher. I've been less and less enthused about Meltdown in this matchup. I also like keeping Barrowglyph because it is an excellent check for Empty the Warrens. Same with Tameo. I don't think we need to bring in a sweeper. I think we can trim 1 Cling, Mountain, 1 Strix, and, well, I might actually keep this Strix and cut a second Lightning Bolt here. Because while Hexing Squelcher is pretty annoying, like, I feel like we haven't really relied on Force of Will to beat Storm for a long time. We've always just kind of assumed that they'll have Veil of Summer. That being said, you do keep these hands. If I can hit a blue card, usually double Force is good enough to get there. Or if they devote a good amount of resources to getting Hexing Squelcher, and they might not count on me having Lightning Bolt. They're down to 5. Opponent, far better Storm Pilot than I am. There are times it feels like you can't really win, though, because I remember wanting a lot of resources when I was playing Storm, but maybe that's just what the Echo is for. Like, ideally, they go land, Chromox, pitch something, cast Hexing Squelcher. That'd be great. That would leave them with 2 cards. Yes. Yes. Now hold on a second. Silence? Well, I have to force that. What the fuck? They have 2 cards left. We might go on a spin here, which sucks. I could... Well, let's not extract yet. Man, why did it have to be silence? It could have been... Hexing Sculpture, that would have been nice. Gamble. Okay. There's Echo. I think I'm extracting diamonds here. 2 extremely powerful turn 1s. What did they discard? Tega? So unless they top decked the Tega, they either mulligan to something really powerful and sculpted, or some part of that equation came off the top. I was really, really hoping it would be Hexing Sculpture and not Silence. Alright, well, hopefully they can't generate enough mana. They don't have any mana floating here. I wouldn't mind a new hand, but god damn, these wheels have been horrible for me. 5 lands, virtually 6 lands, because of Lorwyn Revealed. At least Undercity Sewers is not here. No, it's not important right now. I want Brainstorm. Cling to Dust, also not very helpful. Things have been kind of weird. I guess I'll take this Force of Will, but definitely shuffle those 2 lands away. I hope I never see them again. I feel like if I don't find Brainstorm, I will not win this game. I'm really hoping on their lack of Lion's Eye Diamonds to slow them down. I don't really know how far it's going to go, if I'm being honest. Burning Wish? Yeah, I'm not going to fight over a Burning Wish. Probably getting Thoughtseize. 7 cards in hand. Let's cycle this Cling to Dust. Barely have any black sources to fetch. Well, that's not true, but I need Brainstorm. Thank you. Oh my god, it's happening. Alright. Can I get some straight fire, please? It's like too many Brainstorms. Oh, this is funny. Okay. I think we definitely shuffle those 2 lands away. We can definitely get them on Empty the Warrens if they want to do that. I can also like pretend that I put something on top with Brainstorm. Although I don't have any blue up, so that doesn't exactly work as a bluff. Yep. If they take Tameo, it's a little suspicious. If they take Tameo, it seems like they might be going for Empty the Warrens, but they take Force of Will. Like I said, just kind of hoping that their lack of Lion's Eye Diamonds makes it pretty slow over there. Chromox. There's a Burning Wish under there. Now they're going to pass. That's cool. Alright, let's Brainstorm right now. Mana will be tight. Oh, crap. Okay. I think I put 2 lands back and then cycle Lorwyn revealed. No, it doesn't really make sense. I was really hoping to find some relevant interaction, not 2 more lands. I think my inclination was right. Just trying to look at tons of cards, you know. This doesn't have to end up in my hand. Bowmasters. Finally some pressure. Alright, cast Brainstorm. Thoughtseize was what I was looking for. Put these 2 back. Cast Thoughtseize targeting Lechowder. Definitely take Beseech the Mirror, I think. Ah, geez. Song of Creation too. Song of Creation. Is there a way I can disrupt Metalcraft if I bounce the Chrome Mox? Not really. I can just play it again. But it might mean they don't have enough mana to cast Song of Creation. It seems kind of flimsy, if I'm being entirely honest, because they could also just top deck a land. I'm really leaning towards taking Beseech the Mirror, though. So I think I will. Extracting those could make it pretty difficult for them to win in general. I mean, not exactly, but like harder, you know? I just need more time. And then, yeah, we'll see if we can disrupt their ability to play here. Long pause. Did they rip Brainstorm? It'll be very tempting to Bowmasters in response to Brainstorm. They did draw Brainstorm. Okay, so 2 Burning Wishes and of course the mainboard Tendrils. Things we must to look out for. Although I don't really know why they would Brainstorm, right? Can they cast Song of Creation after this? They can't cast Veil of Summer right now. I think I still just let it go. Does not feel good though. Because they probably want some zeros after Song of Creation resolves, right? Maybe I didn't think this through enough. There's also a Burning Wish under there, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw 2 in the deck. Those be the outs. Petal. Mox Opal. Is this my moment? It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense at all. Now they're passing. Something doesn't seem quite right here. I doubt they'll Veil Summer now, but there's no telling what they would have tried to do if I didn't hold my mana up. They also don't need very much of a storm to go off here. This is a situation where Meltdown would be very good, but this is an extremely abnormal situation, I will say. Okay, Agent unfortunately is not very helpful right now because I extracted Beseech from the Mirror. It's really just gamble that it's locking down. And if they go off with Song Creation, they're going to be trying to just draw into the tendrils naturally. So I need something else. Fuck. Alright. If they play Veil of Summer before they cast Song Creation, I could bounce it, I guess. Maybe they'll be gated on mana. Silence, that's even worse. Ah, shit. I think I just cast Agent and hope for the best. Uh-huh. No diamonds. We shall see how this goes. Maybe they'll fizzle. But I know they at least have Veil Summer, which they imprinted. Oh, okay, well, that went well. They drew Dark Ritual Silence. Okay, sweet. What luck. I think I just bounced Song then, right? That doesn't really make sense. Maybe it does, though. Because I'm really trying to gate their mana here. What was after that? Another Baleful Strix? It's not very good. Trying to deal a lot of damage. I can put them to 3. And then if Kaito hits a land after the Strix, which I'm not optimistic about because I've already seen so many lands. I've been complaining about it this whole game pretty much. Well, hold on. 8. So I'm a little under halfway through the lands. And I mean, I don't know. It seems kind of risky. Like, what if they hit Veil Summer? If they cast that proactively, though, they would still lose. Because my Bowmaster triggers would resolve in response to the song before Veil Summer resolves. I don't know. This makes sense in my head. But it is also under the assumption that Kaito will hit a land, which seems kind of risky, honestly. But bouncing Song doesn't seem like that good either, you know? I feel like bouncing Song is just like, well, yeah, it will gate their mana quite a bit. I don't like that I have to gate their mana in the first place, I think I'm just gonna do what I said. I guess I could also hit Bolt, so I should leave up that. A lot of hits. Force a Will? I don't think that one qualifies. Bin it. Cool, I might have just thrown. Maybe they'll draw a land. I don't know. Okay, cool. Let's just pretend I had consigned a memory. Oh my god. Is the next card. Who's the next card, people? Yikes. What am I doing? I'm playing with lives here. Extra lives. I think I'll just run it back. Maybe I'm a little interested in Meltdown. It's probably better than Baleful Strix. Alright. Yeah, this hand is solid. I just want a lot of options. Opponent takes a mulligan. I will keep. Alright, they're good on 6. Pedal. Go. There is an actual argument to Meltdown here. Trade 1 for 1 on that. Maybe make things a little awkward for them. Especially since between Silence and Veil of Summer, it's not like things are really going to go that well for me. I feel like they were trying to dodge a discard spell, which makes me feel like they needed this. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Commercial District, Put a card on top. Oh no. Verdant Catacombs. Go. I wish I could play Bowmasters this turn. Maybe I should. I feel like they're a lot less likely to strike if I just leave my mana up. This is a game of bluffing. Rafine's Tower. Well, we can probably expect a Silence or something then. Burning Wish resolves. For Echo. And then a pass. Alright, is there any way I can get them down to 14? Because that really puts the screws on. When you have 2 Bowmasters, they'd pretty much need... Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, this works. Kolaghan's Command, not great. They wheel with no mana floating. Also, is it just too dangerous to look for a land? I feel like I'm not allowed to look for a land. Hexing Squelcher. Yeah. Pass. Well, it turns out I was allowed to look for a land. Alright, play Bowmasters. Ping Ya. Still pushing damage. It's a lot of ponders. I'll cast it. There's the land. Unclear if I would have hit. I'm gonna shuffle and ponder again. It'll be a little painful if I hit Bolt. But I'm really hoping to hit like Consigned to Memory or something, right? Pyroblast? None of that does anything. Kaito? Doesn't really do anything either. Could ponder, but I'm just gonna represent my Consign here. And if they wheel without casting Veil first, like they do need to hit Veil, like that has to happen. Gamble. Uh-oh. They discard Silence? Is that what they gambled for? Seems like probably not, but then they just passed. That's interesting. Brazen Borrower? Not ideal. Cast Ponder again. Baragoyf. I think Brainstorm is what's up here. Say no. Cast Brainstorm. Put back Strix. Bloodstained Mire. Hit for 2. At the very least, I can bounce Hexing Squelcher and like make them give myself the chance to wheel into Force of Will, I guess. Well, don't really see the point in doing it now. Diamond. Diamond. Do you have Veil? No. Oh my god. Well, see if you'll hit. I hope you don't. Got the GGs. Is it because I'm dead? Well, you can say well played even if you lose. They say nice to play against you. I'm guessing, well, they're resolving. So it seems like maybe... Okay, yeah. They did not hit the Veil. Wow, that was really scary. Silence. They have a lot of angles to prevent you from striking back. Pretty soon all it's going to work is going to be Nimble Obstructionist. It's going to be like the last thing that can work. Alright. I'll be back for round 2. Let's give round 2 a shot here. Hopefully it's not as intense as the first one. Or maybe hopefully it is. I don't know. I've got Force of Will, Lightning Bolt. It's a well-rounded hand. All my colors are on display in basic form. This is a pretty standard start for Legacy these days. It's probably blue-black tempo. Can count on this deck showing up very often. I will bolt that. It goes away without a fuss. Might run into some issues if an opponent just holds up Bowmasters, which is a pretty common turn 2 line, but looks like they're going to Brainstorm right now. Hopefully they don't have another land. Maybe they're banking on Tamiyo Brainstorm to really preoccupy my mind and soul. Although if they play a land that's not a fetch land, that could just mean they like every card, but okay. We can proceed as if everything is happening normally here. Kolaghan's Command. Usually decent in game 1 because they don't have Hydroblast. I'm going to ponder. Looking for threats. Yeah, this is all great. It's all good stuff. Go like this. Hide the Snapcaster Mage. The goal is to blow through whatever they go with Snapcaster Mage, Bolt, hopefully, and then force anything that could get in the way of the Snapcaster Mage connecting. Put a card on top after some deliberation. Wasteland, Baraglyph. I think I'll force. They will force back. Okay. I guess I'll sustain a Baraglyph hit then, and then tap it down with Kaito. Just gonna have to really hope they don't hit on that Baraglyph. But this is the power of blue-black tempo. Just these insane threats backed up by stuff. Although I wonder if I can bolt this thing. I don't know, that walks into Daze. They also might... Oh yeah, I just kind of need them to miss. There's not really any bones about it here, and they do. Land. Alright, please don't have Bowmasters, I guess. I don't know. Like, is this so crazy? Well, they didn't play Bowmasters, so I guess I'll just proceed as normal. Can we make it to blocks? Oh my god, we're making it to blocks. I think I want to hold up black. They could have something annoying like Brazen Borrower, and then our problems are far from over, but I'm just hoping for the best here. They'll Wasteland, that's fine. Which means maybe they're not going to play Brazen Borrower, because they probably wouldn't want that Dazed. Yeah, we're in the clear, somehow. Oh, there's Brazen Borrower. What the hey? This could be worse. Might have to do the same thing. I think I'm going to Brainstorm. It's a little risky. But not risky enough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I just hide Kaito on top. Ponder? Sure. Very tempting to cast Bowmasters here, but I must contain my excitement. They don't shuffle. Looks like they have Murktide Regent. I'm pretty happy to just force that, because like Petty Theft is not a great check in this scenario. And I guess I'm pitching Brazen Borrower. Play Bowmasters. Daze? Oh, god damn it. Where'd that come from? It's so annoying. Play Kaito. Tap down Baraglyph. Lose my damage. Lose my Bowmasters. I'm getting Kolaghan's Command next turn, which is nice. But it's still pretty annoying. Spinning Fatal Push. You got it. Not many of those left, so if I find my own Baraglyph, like, we're in very good shape. Alright, let's attack. Bada bing, bada boom. Draw cards. Another Kolaghan's Command? I'm not sure about that, but I am sure about Lockmare. Yeah, Ben Kolaghan's Command, keep Lockmare, play Lockmare. Do this right now. The fourth Fatal Push, that's fine. Did a Baleful Strix impression, and I made a land drop. We've almost ground this out. Kind of wish I got that Kolaghan's Command now, though. That land drop wasn't the most impactful. Alright, how do we want to do this? I think I'm most keen on just finding an answer or a solid check. So we'll attack and then draw a card. Been both of those. I do need to remember that Underground Sea is not available to me, though. Take Kaito. Cast Brainstorm. This is a little awkward. I don't really want to jump with Tamiyo, but it might be the best option here. Also, losing Snapcaster Mage doesn't feel great. Yeah, wow. I did that wrong. I could have burned out Baragoyf if I had done this in a different order. But then I wouldn't have, I would have lost Kaito. There would have been issues, Gosh, don't like what is happening right now. Ooh, what do I do? I could have just played it safe. I should have just played it safe. It might be safest to keep Snapcaster Mage to have another blocker. Now I don't have any cooldowns commands. It's pretty funny. And by funny, I mean sad. Alright. I guess that means I should have plussed as well. What can you do? Oh, I didn't need to do this either. I already had blue. Well, oh well. Brazen Borrower, yep. I do kind of want them to cast that Thoughtseize. I also hope they draw a land. Going straight to combat. See how they assign these attacks. Okay. No, I was really hoping they'd attack, or cast that Thoughtseize, but it's gonna be okay. Snapcaster Mage. Get Bolt. Cast Bolt. Okay, tight. I'm gonna block with Snapcaster Mage. I don't like the life gain. Wasteland, sweet. I really don't want to tap this thing down again. I was really hoping to find like Edict or Strix or just like something, Bolt does not do it either. Oh god. Swing. I'm gonna activate this clue first. Another Kaito? Alright, you've convinced me, I suppose. I hate that this Baragoyf is so problematic, though. I should have done that mid-combat. Or wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense. I think they'll Thoughtseize now. God damn. Fuck Baragoyf. If it doesn't attack my Planeswalkers, they're in big trouble. See, there's Reanimate. Perfect. Reanimate, shit, I don't know, Bowmasters. Now they'll probably Thoughtseize, which is annoying. Ponder, sure. Ponder will shuffle, that is good. I should have pinged Baragoyf. I guess it doesn't matter that much. Combat, attacking me. I think I'll just chump. The life gain on this thing is monstrous. I'm sure they'll take Kaito. Oh, that's interesting. Tamiyo. Well, one of these is getting through. Get back. Bolt. Bolt your Tamiyo. Plus with Kaito. Attack in. Swap out Kaitos. Tap down Baragoyf. This is a little ridiculous. But it's what I've got. Half of my deck is gone. I'm playing a little too slowly. Drawing lots of land. I'm fucking up. But I'm mostly just trying to find Force of Will right now and hardcast it. Alright, finally an Edict is great. No Cling to Dust either. I'm starting to play kind of poorly. Tamiyo. One card left. What are the odds are that it is good? I don't think it matters that much. I don't think I need to go into combat. I can just do a clean line here. Actually, this is not even that clean. Could have just done it with Tamiyo, but... Alright. Baragoyf. Scary card. Fire Covenant could be... What's that card that destroys a creature and you lose life equal to its toughness? Is that Sever Soul? No, I think Sever Soul is you gain life equal to its toughness. Sever Soul also costs 5 mana, so... It's probably going to be a little better than that. And I usually bring in Toxic Deluge against this deck, but I don't usually bring in Fire Magic, but this is pretty different. Definitely want from the Catacombs. Having Fatal Push would have made life pretty easy. Same with the Red Blast. Bolt is not great. Force of Will is necessary, but not great. I don't like Baragoi from this matchup. I don't like Thoughtseize in this matchup either. On the draw, you can trim a land. And you can also trim a Kolaghan's Command. I don't know. I think 2 Fire Covenants is kind of pushing it. Don't you think? I don't know, though. It's like a one-sided sweeper. It's kind of Fire. Covenant. On the draw, it's got to be better than Thoughtseize. Hopefully I don't get terrorized by a Baragoi to that extent again. Sand is good. I really don't want to Fatal Push Tamiyo, though. So please don't play one. Excellent. Also in a semi-awkward position where I probably need to hold one of these fetch lands to trigger Revolt. But the first one can Surveil. And will Surveil. Like, I don't think they're going to play Wasteland here. Go for it. My hand is annoying. Since you did this, I am slamming Strix next turn. Unless you take it, which they might. They might also take Bowmasters. No, they take Strix. That is a good sign. Because that's just kind of the more better card in this hand. Doesn't really, like, do a whole lot. That kind of means they fear the whole hand. But I really don't want to draw any more lands. So please do not make me. God damn it. Alright, we've probably lost. It's amazing how fast that happens. Unless they wasteland me. No, they'll just Thoughtseize again. If they took Strix, they might take Push this time. They're like moving towards... Okay, they take Bowmasters. Nice. Okay, that's good. Please wasteland me. Even though you just saw my hand. Okay, cool. I'm down with that. This is good. And Brainstorm? Okay, it's on. Cast Brainstorm around Bowmasters. Cool. I think they probably have Daze. I can't imagine anything else they would have. That was not a good Brainstorm. 2 lands. Tamiyo is cool. But I can't seem to cement any action. I guess having 4 lands is fine, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel fine until I get Cling to Dust or a way to justify having so much mana. I'm also glad we're like through at least half of their Thoughtseizes. Alright, let's activate this. And now I have the kind of awkward decision of should I stifle one of their lands and possibly just get that 2-for-1, wasteland them back, see if that cements any kind of advantage. I feel like it might. Damn it. Oh, they didn't shuffle? Huh. Like, this will all be fine if they wasteland me again. Or if I find some way to justify. Okay. Oh, man, I really don't want to Fatal Push a Bowmasters. Let's just play Tamiyo. Send it back. Alright, cast Brainstorm. There's the action. Okay, beautiful. Hide Kolaghan's Command on top. No, hide Edict on top. I'll do everything I can to not shuffle. And I was able to counter Fatal Push with Brainstorm, which is an amazing small advantage. That combined with Nimble Obstructionist, I feel like we might be able to do this. Unfortunately, they're going to get Tamiyo, but now they have Bowmasters exposed, which is great. They're down to 2 cards. They're both attacking Tamiyo. I don't have to do anything then if they have Kaito. Okay. No Kaito is good. Still think they have Daze, even though they brainstormed. Send it back. And then there's a Brainstorm after that. That might actually be fine to draw, but I think I'll be casting Kolaghan's Command here. Brazen Borrower. There's kind of a lot of damage. Still gonna sit back. Land. Here comes everyone. I can't really interact in the block phase, but I think if they did have Kaito, they would do something here. I'm gonna take the damage. Even though Fire Covenant's in my deck, I know it's a little strange. Alright. I should also leave 1 basic in my deck, just in case. Take Bowmasters, Shock, Bowmasters, Blue Blast. Brutal, but not unexpected. Alright, so what now? Now I push Brazen Borrower. Oh my god. Oh, this sucks. I'm so scared right now. More Bowmasters. That's their last card. This edict is not looking good. But I will bounce this army and cast Brazen Borrower. I'm winning this race, damn it. Be great if they drew a land. Ugh, they drew Kaito? Oh, how can this get any worse? I feel like I had this game wrapped up and then... Oh, I flooded, right. Duh. I don't know why they wouldn't take the Wasteland and Bowmaster the figures. Bowmaster the Brazen Borrower. God, this is so brutal. Brainstorm's a dead draw anyway, so I might as well thin my deck. I could really use some help here. Like, really badly. Yep. Please. Fire Covenant, sure. Go to 1. Dead to Bowmasters. Man, they are ripping hot. I'm ripping hot, finally. Play Kaito. Tap that down. And hopefully I can turn it around next turn. I just need them to miss. I need them to draw a land. Force of Will. Alright, plus Kaito. So I'll probably need to tap down Baraglyph again next turn. Swing in. No block. You know, I don't hate it. I'd be very okay with them flipping Tamiyo here. But if they attack me and ignore Kaito, I think they've drawn their own Kaito. Oh wait, no, that doesn't matter. I think they do that no matter what. I'll draw a card, yep. Land, yep. Can you draw more? More lands, please? Cling to Dust. Oh, that's good. Alright, I think I'm always tapping down Baraglyph, though. And then we kind of just gotta go for it next turn. They're at 5. Miraculously, I can survive Kaito by gaining a life. They are entering combat. They are attacking. Oh my god. What did they draw? Or do they figure they're not winning a game that they're chump blocking with Tamiyo? Thoughtseize. Yes, resolves. Take Force of Will. Go to 2. You know, now I think I would like a Lightning Bolt. Draw a card. Land. Pass. Well, I can't do anything because they could cast Bowmasters in response. Okay, they'll concede. Whew, Jesus, that was a roller coaster. Oh, man. Too many ups and downs in that one. Felt like I had it, then it felt like I lost it, and then I Fire Covenant down to 1, and then I drew lands, and then they didn't, but then I ripped hot off the top. It's just too much. The blue-black tempo matchup, I feel like that's pretty common for any time I'm facing, like, the best deck in the format, whatever the best deck in the format is at any given time. It just becomes such a slugfest, which I guess is, like, good magic. It just doesn't really feel like it's always in my control, which can be a little distressing. Whew, alright. 2-0 to start the league. It's pretty nice. Folks, welcome back for round... Oh god, it's only round 3. We're down to the wire again. Fortunately, I'm getting a little help with the editing this week. My friend's gonna burn the midnight oil as soon as I finish this league. This hand is boring, but I mean, I should have also played out the Delta, even though Red Prison's not super common these days. If they go like Blood Moon... Oh no, it's Eldrazi. Well, my hand is very bad against Eldrazi. I need some help. Yeah, I'll keep Kolaghan's Command. It's a good card. Send it back. I mean, I'm kind of hoping they just go like Chalice on 1 next turn. I'll play Bowmaster, start dealing damage. I like to see Ancient Tomb as well. Fleshraker, go. Alright. Yeah, we just need to start hitting them. A good old-fashioned race. And they are way better at racing than I am. No! That sucks. I really want to hold the Bolt. It makes more sense to Kolaghan's Command and have them discard, but they're not... They're going to have something they're going to be okay discarding. They just are. God, that land was a bad draw. This feels premature, but I have to push damage. I have to get every piece of value out of this situation. Wastegate Battle Mage. Yeah, it's not the most exciting card. Like if they go Thought Not Seer next turn, and I just have nothing in my hand, I'll pretty much need to draw Brainstorm. That one I can live with. Wasteland is also fine. Things weirdly going okay over here. I do really need to not draw any more lands though. Ponder. Yeah, I'll cast it. Kaito? Baraglyph? It's not terrible, but something might happen that will influence me to not draw that Baraglyph. Actually, I don't know what that would be. I can't think of anything. I might have been able to trick them into not blocking if I went into combat with 2 mana up and a black. They might think I have more Bowmasters coming at them or something, but I don't know. It's like, yeah, there's a Thought Not Seer. Shoot, I should have played the Badlands. Now they'll get this for free. That feels bad. Screwed up. Is there any way Baraglyph can just terrorize this board? Have to get a little lucky. Am I willing to sacrifice one of these to deal 1? I don't think so, because Kaito is such a good draw. Secluded Courtyard means they probably don't have to use Ancient Tomb anymore. This feels like Kozilek's command. Yeah, it sucks. Oh, Baraglyph. Maybe I'll just cast Lorwyn Revealed next turn. Try and burn them out. I don't know. I don't think I can block. Thought Not Seer, it is rough. This might work. I'll need all the red I can get. By Lorwyn Revealed into Bolt Bowmasters. There's Kaito. Don't think I'm going to be able to get it through. We'll see. I'm going to block one of them. Brainstorm. Hook it up. There's a Bolt and a Strix. Not bad. Tamiyo could also really get Kaito in reliably here. Okay, yeah, play Strix. I wonder if flipping Tamiyo would have been correct. I don't think I attack. I don't know what I'm thinking. Play Tamiyo. Hopefully fade. Kozilek's command. It's unfortunate they hit another one of those. 2 top. Yes. Yes. Reality Smasher. That's a lot of damage. Full send. Ugh. I was hoping they'd hold something back. What do I do? And I'm at 8. Well, I have to block. Shit. God, this was close. Just coming up short in every direction. I wish I could just not block some amount of this. Does that mean I have to bolt this Thought Not Seer? Seems rough. I guess I could have taken the Underground Sea off the top, but then I would have drawn dead this turn, which does not feel good. They're at 5. Kolaghan's command, Snapcaster Mage. Cast Kaito, look for the last bolt, which means I have to hold this bolt, so they take damage. And then Kaito can look for, yeah, the last bolt. Oh my god. Is that feasible? Should I bolt this Thought Not Seer and try to play control? Tap down Reality Smasher? Find some way to deal with this Thought Not Seer? I don't know. Reanimate does not do it, but would influence me to just tap down the Reality Smasher. Alright, I've made my choice. Or I could just hit Kolaghan's command off the top. Thought Seize. No. No, no, no. Bolt you. Cast Kaito. Alright, 3 looks for a Lightning Bolt. There's the Kolaghan's command. Oh my god. Is it the next card? No. Looks like the control angle would have done better. Could have had like Edict and stuff. God damn. That's tough. Alright, no Baraglyph, no Narset. Thoughtseize, out. Cling to Dust, out. And yeah, the lands were quite a hindrance there. Doesn't take much to burn this deck out. I must have made a mistake at some point. I could have had another bolt. I drew so many bolts that game. But I don't know if ignoring Glaring Fleshraker was the way to go either, because I finished at a pretty low life total. It's just the Kozilek's command. It's always the Kozilek's command. If they didn't have two of them, I think we would have been in much better shape. But that card is insanely strong. Yep. And looks good. I'm taking a mulligan. That's good. But only to 6. Hopefully that's the push we need. Looking good. Looking very good. I don't think anything can deter me from playing Strix next turn. Ancient Tomb. Chalice, you got it. If they have Thought-Knot Seer next turn, that could be kind of rough. But for now, we're chilling. Do need to deal with this Chalice eventually, probably. Seeing as it's locking a good part of my hand. Don't know why I say anything. God damn it. Maybe I'll top deck another Kaito. Seems like they're actually thinking about it, though. No. Send it back. Is this Wastegate Battle Mage too? This is absurd. It doesn't feel competitive in the slightest. Grim Monolith, sure. The first break. I need Kolaghan's command. Bend the bolt. Alright, what do I draw? Strix. It's not bad. Just seems like they probably have Kozilek's command, you know? Seems unlikely that they wouldn't. I don't have consigned memory or force or anything. Yep, they're tapping mana. Folks, they're tapping mana. Alright, I'm at 3. And they have Ayabugan. Alright, whatever. Well, let's forget that match ever happened. That was pretty weak. Welcome back for round 4. After an extremely disappointing round 3, let's see what is in store for us now. Basic Island Tameo, sure. They might have days. I'm just gonna surveil right now. Been that. Nice. Hopefully. Bolt there. Force of Will pitching Jace the Mind Sculptor? I wonder what we're up against. It's interesting to force pitching Jace to protect a Tameo. One of those seems a little less exciting than the other to me. But also they already spent mana on the Tameo, so I can understand wanting that established. Send it back. If they go this whole cycle without spending their mana, it's pretty crazy. But before they make another clue token, I'm gonna cast Snapcaster Mage, trying to remove Tameo. Guess I'll grab the Swamp here. Hand is very black. And I'm kind of hoping that they don't Swords my Snapcaster Mage. There's just, you know, better targets for that in their eyes, hopefully. But we'll see. Alright. It's hard to feel like we're up on that exchange, since they already cashed in the clue token as well, but, I mean, they also Force of Will to Lightning Bolt, pitching Jace the Mind Sculptor, so it's kind of hard to feel upset about it. Best case scenario here would be like a meta call main deck Red Blast on Snapcaster Mage. Yeah. We knew that wasn't going to happen though. But now, hopefully, they feel punished, because now I have Tameo. Which was a pretty solid top deck. If it can enable Kaito. I feel like they're not inclined to try and remove it, because it's so easy to just brainstorm and blow people out. I think if they got down to like 3 cards in hand, I'd be willing to hardcast this Kaito. They'll activate after draw, so they're getting rid of 1 card off that brainstorm, but kept one of them. It's a little concerning. If they give me something to Edict this turn, that'd be cool. Obviously, Teferi doesn't allow for that, but that was interesting. Alright, let's see if I can get Kaito in here. And if they're giving me this clue token, I don't think, yeah, they're really going to interact with this that much. I guess they could dress down right now, but that's not the biggest deal. Kind of just looking for Force of Will now. Maybe Thoughtseize. I'll activate. This Hull Breacher? Oh, Tishana's Tidebinder, that's pretty good too. Yep. I guess, what will I do now? I'll Ponder. That's interesting. I don't see that card too often. Yeah, I'm kind of down with the action. Makes me kind of wonder what deck this is. Tidebinder and Jace the Mind Sculptor. I mean, this is not an embarrassing control card. It's fine. So it could be like Miracles or Blue-White Control with Tishana's Tidebinder. It's not impossible. Activating Prismatic Vista for red. Fourth Aerolingus. Are they going to take out Kaito or do they want the Monarchy? Kaito. Okay, cool. This is quite good for me. I can take the Monarchy. Kind of hoping they don't have Force of Will at this point. Well, first things first. Alright. Now let's Edict non-token. Cool. Do that. Keep Force of Will. Bin the Ponder. I think I played Tameo here, right? The trample on that is trample. I could Ponder first and try and find Bolt. Sure. No, but Narset's not bad. Same with Cling to Dust. I like that card quite a bit, especially if they have like Mystic Sanctuary, which I'm sure they probably do. Play Tameo. Strix ended up becoming my pitch spell. Actually, no. I'm about to draw... yeah, Cling to Dust. So now they kind of have to choose, like, are they going to pressure Kaito or go for the Monarchy back? Kind of gets out of control either way. This Reanimate has not been good for much yet. I'll force. It's worth keeping Kaito. Brainstorm in response. Resolves. If they force this through, they have one card in hand. They probably attack Kaito. I draw Narset. Narset should find me a way to beat this Knight. Flame of Anor? I mean, I guess I let this go. Yeah. Makes sense to me. 2 cards left over there. Slam Narset. This has to find a Bolt, right? It does. Bolt there. Alright. Now I'm just chilling with the Monarchy. I probably could have reanimated Tameo this turn. Maybe that would have been wise. But also, I kind of want to just cling that 4th Aerolingus. Like, how many of those do they really have? Prismatic Ending, yeah. I might as well. Well, I don't know. This doesn't make sense. There's no blue card in my hand. I'm also starting to become a little wary of back to basics. Let's cling 4th before they can, like, brainstorm again. But again, this is, like, another pretty big win. Ponder. Ponder is not shuffle. They have Tameo. That's fine. Not a great top deck. Unless I just brick forever. What's your last card? Swords? Snapcaster Mage. I'll take it. I'll reanimate it. I'll target Bolt. Bolt there. See if I can make a land drop. No. But some Bowmasters showed up. That's cool. I'll draw a card. There's the land. Things are just kind of in the wrong order. But I'm just like crushing the card advantage game here. Hard to imagine me losing. And that is a really bad thing to say, but like even if they 4th Aerolingus again, I think it's going to be okay. They rip Snapcaster Mage though, which is pretty good. They can draw 2 and destroy my Snapcaster Mage. So this is just Jeskai Wizards with Jace the Mind Sculptor. Casting that seems like overkill. And yeah, we're in pretty good shape. They are drawing some lands here. Back to basics, you got it. I really want to not show them the mountain here. Like if they think that is effective and like I milled over my only basic island, that would be great. Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, like if I fetch out the Badlands here to draw step K command them at the expense of, well, I mean, that actually does not make sense. Actually, yeah, they're F6'd, so. But yeah, if I just show them that I had to get a Badlands to cast this red spell, maybe they'll even back to basics, which would be great. Alright, from the Catacombs, Red Blast. I guess that's it. Fire Covenant might be the only thing that can stand up to 4th Aerolingus, but it doesn't really feel right to bring that in. It's just not really good. They're the deck with sweepers. They're the Supreme Verdict deck. We'll see how much is coming out. Definitely Baragoyf. Gonna try Lockmare. They have good creatures too, so I think Reanimate can stay. Badlands, and then I guess it would be Force of Will. So yeah, there's no room for Fire Covenant. Opponent keeping 7. That's good, because so will I. No Tameo. Oh man. A little bit of awkwardness though. I'm kind of eating my words about back to basics. But I think I will just get the basic mountain. End of turn Brainstorm. So yeah, they're probably just trying to spend their mana here if I had to guess. It's not a common line in the control mirror. Well, I'm sure I've done it before. Tundra. That makes it seem a little less likely that they have back to basics. Let's try and Red Blast this. Even though Bolt lines up nicely against it. Okay. That makes things a little less complicated. I think they might have to shun his Tidebinder. They're not using it yet. We can play Bowmasters here. Sure. If I hit Kaito off the top, no. But I still have to respect it as it's coming in here. Like they might have to interact with this. They don't, okay. That's fine. Well, I don't have it anyways. But pushing damage feels nice. I'm in this really weird spot if they did cast 4th Aerolingus this turn, like, do I let that resolve? Ponder. Could find Kaito. No, but this is all very good. Attack first. Alright. Now Thoughtseize. They'll activate. Is this Snapcaster Mage? I'll probably just Red Blast that. Or, no I won't. Flame of Anor? Sure. Spell Pierce. 2 Prismatic Endings. Obviously take the Teferi. And it's very nice to know about Spell Pierce. Planes. Like at what point do they interact with this army token? Cast Brainstorm. Really on the hunt for Kaito here. Don't hit. But this land lets me get over the Spell Pierce hump with Kolaghan's command. But it's not doing anything right now. I'm inclined to put both of these back. Hopefully I don't regret that. I'm gonna look for Kaito one more time, I think. No, I'll keep the Brainstorm. Probably shuffle before drawing that Kolaghan's command. And if they cast Jace or Teferi or something, I want to be able to Red Blast and beat Spell Pierce. Or this. Yeah, the Flame of Anor is just a bit much, I think. They will Spell Pierce. Definitely activate this before letting that resolve. That's a hard one. And I think I'm getting the Badlands here. Yeah. That leaves them with a couple Prismatic Endings. And I can Force of Will. Any top-decked bombs. Yeah. Not wild about it, but it is what it is. Alright, we've ground this out, assuming the last Prismatic Ending is for Bowmasters. Cast Ponder. I think we can do better. It's kind of greedy, but it's kind of rewarded here as well. Ponder again. I feel like I'm just seeing the same cards over and over again. Don't hate Force of Will. Tight. There's an actual argument to main phase those Bowmasters, because yeah, they could have Brainstormed or Flame of Anor or something over the top of that. Okay. That's a Surveil. Let's see. No. Bolt. Could take a turn off the clock. But I'm definitely having a hard time locating bombs right now. No, from the catacombs or Kaitos in sight. I've cantripped kind of a lot. But it happens. If I'm not finding bombs, it means I'm finding stuff to prevent them doing stuff with, so let's do that. Expecting Red Blast here or something. They'll force a will, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but you got one mode. The draw 2 is a bit of a gamble, so they might just deal 5 to Bowmasters here. Or if they feel super far behind, they might just take the draw 2 and hope to stabilize next turn after I put them to 2. Okay, fair choice. I'm not going to draw step. I'm just going to do this now when I know it will work. Just get game-winning damage on board. If not, top deck a lightning bolt, I guess. Ponder. Now I'm kind of feeling like I should have kept all the Kolgon's commands and just went full burn mode. Ponder does not shuffle. Don't know what that means. It's kind of feeling like they weren't at any outs here. But, of course, that's never true. Yeah, Supreme Verdict. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. Well, that went a lot better than the Eldrazi match. Alright, I'll be back for the last round. We got one more match here. Yeah, I'll keep. Opponent takes a mulligan. They're on 6. Not sure exactly what that means. But I want to say this username seems very familiar. I think they play blue-black tempo. Nope. Probably show and tell, but we'll see. Could be Delver. Show and tell's a lot more likely to mulligan and then ponder on turn 1. Let's find out. Thought sees you. It is Delver. I screwed up. Take Core Steel Cutter, of course. I'm guessing they'll Wasteland me and play Dragon's Rage Channeler. And they could also try and get Delirium right now, so they don't have to... Oh, if they activate this fetch line, I'm going to Bolt Dragon's Rage Channeler. Probably a little risky to... I mean, I don't even have the Bowmasters in my hand, but even if I did, yeah, I could just Bolt me. So yeah, I'll just Bolt Dragon's Rage Channeler, it's fine. They'll draw. Cling to Dust, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm not even that discouraging of them casting a Murktide right now, though. Because they'd probably eat up their turn, and I have an Edict. But I'll do it anyways. It's a lot of Force of Will. Ponder. I'm actually really grateful they surveilled the other Wasteland. Because if I don't find a land this turn, it's a little awkward. Okay. One more of those and I can really start grinding with Cling. Land. Hexing Squelcher. Can't be countered. Interesting. Alright, no bad draws, really. I guess Kaito's not a great draw. Yeah, it's fine. Thundering Falls. Spinning Bobble, Brainstorm. They're already Delirious, right? What if I just really put the hurt on here? What if I forced the Lightning Bolt? I'd be so dumb. Let's just get them to spend their mana right now. No Wasteland. Bobble. Look at my card. No Murktide. What did they see? Brainstorm? I'll cast it right now. Yeah. I think I'm just putting 2 Force of Wills back. It's a little nutty, I know. But at this point, I'm kind of wanting to... That's fine. Hard cast Force of Will, if anything. I'm sure they did that to prevent Kaito from entering. Alright, I don't really want to get Wastelanded off red. So as much as I want to build my basics out, it's probably smarter to do that. Cast Ponder. Yeah. I'm going to Brainstorm now, too. And then I think I'm going to Cling to Dust. That doesn't really make sense, though. I already have one in my yard. Alright, send it back. I would really prefer to hit that with Bowmasters, but It's like not a guarantee, you know? Island. They probably have Force of Will, right? Nice. That's one of those good draws. Let's see if I can get them to tap out on their upkeep. Maybe they didn't have Force of Will. I'm gonna run this straight into Daze. No. Curious what their hand could be. But now we're just gonna sit back and accrue card advantage off Cling to Dust. If they play a threat, I will simply deal with it. Okay. What do I do now? Definitely Red Blast and Fatal P. Fire Covenant must be solid, right? Take one, even though paying life not super desirable against Delver. Nimble, Force of Will, Tameo. Lockmare is fine. Thoughtseize. Oh, look at that, 60. I think Reanimate can go as well, so I can get Force back. It's almost a From the Catacombs matchup, but it's a little too dangerous to give them the possibility of the trap with all the reach they have. And haste. Sure, I'll take Tameo back. Hand is great. Opponent mulligans again. You'll love to see it. Delta, activate, ponder. Ponder is not shuffle. They might be setting up Quarry Steel Cutter Bobble. Let's ponder. There's no land. The Red Blast is good. The Edict is good. I already have all this stuff except the Red Blast. I need to shuffle. Okay. Land. Dragon's Rage Channeler. It's better than what I was expecting for me. Alright, I need some land here. Cast Brainstorm. Okay, we do hit. Sadly, the correct thing to do is to put Kaito away. So I guess I will. This channel is about playing correctly, even though I'm realizing I really punted the Eldrazi match. Which is too bad, because we're 3-1. Okay. If they get Delirious, I'll consider running this Fatal Push into Daze, but I don't think it's, like, wise to do. Spinning Wasteland. Bobble. Uh-oh. I could totally see them just bolting me here. But we're getting away with it. Alright. I think I'm cool with Kling getting dazed. They're thinking about it. That's weird. Alright, Fatal Push. Before they draw. Force of Will. Nice. Alright, Brainstorm again. Put back Island and Force. Yeah. Not an amazing Brainstorm. But it hit a land, so I can start like the Kling grind. Brainstorm is fine. Le Murktide Regent. I don't think I've ever made a lay joke on the channel before. Excuse me. What's gotten into me? I'm tired. Let's get the mountain here. Alright. Let's Edict. And represent Red Blast so they feel not inclined to smash back. And yeah, they'll just scoop up there. I mean, I had quite a few cards in my hand. Alright, I mean, you can't say Fire Covenant didn't do anything this video. It was pretty sweet. Taking the board out against Blue-Black Tempo in round 2. But we didn't run into energy, so it kind of feels incomplete. I think going forward, since people do really want to see this card and how it interacts with the meta at large, we can just keep this in the sweeper slot and be pretty happy about it. Another league for Lockmare to kind of be in hiding, but I mean, that's Magic. You don't really get to choose what you draw. Oh, I guess when I was on the hunt for a bomb against Jeskai Wizards in round 4, Lockmare also could have qualified. Yeah, I'm really happy with the deck. I'm sorry that I played so terribly against Eldrazi. This could have been very different, but yeah, we just rolled through this stuff. Storm was insane. That was a really scary match. And then, I mean, I wouldn't say we rolled through Blue-Black Tempo. I think I mentioned at the end of that match, like, it's always really scary because it's a really powerful deck. They might just get you. But we still took it too well. I think the deck's in a really good place. I'm happy that y'all are getting to see it happen week to week. This is pretty much when I get to play. Although, recently I have been able to do a little more work on the deck. as you can see, I'm right here on the first page of the leaderboard somehow. And yeah, I have a good feeling about this season. Things have just felt like they're flowing. Sometimes you have no business winning a game, although pretty sure I made a huge mistake in this match. Yeah, it happens. I'm not perfect. I'm going to try to be more perfect. But yeah, deck feels great. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the Patreon if you want even more content every week. I do an extra league every week there. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe is free. I just saw we hit 2.3 before I sat down to start recording. That's awesome. We're almost there. Let's keep it rolling. All right. I really appreciate everyone, and I'll see you next time.